Today, I thought I would share with you two easy ways to increase your sales. Very two easy way that you can start right now after finishing to listen to this podcast. One is externally focused, one is internally focused. And trust me, it works. And welcome to a new episode of the Business of Meeting podcast. Today, I'm excited to share with you two easy ways to increase your sales. We're all talking about, obviously, the sales, how to increase the sales, how to increase the pipeline, how to pitch better, what is the best way, easiest way to increase those sales. I'm going to share with you two easy ways. One, which is externally focused, and one, which is internally focused, and you can apply them at the end of this podcast. Very easy and very efficient. So the first one, really, which is externally focused, is to become a strategic advisor. Too many times I've seen people going to their client and asking questions such as, how many people are coming? Would you like to have a welcome cocktail or a farewell dinner? You know what? Those are obviously important questions at the end of the process, but the people you're talking to, the CEO, the sales director, the CMO, they have really no interest in those questions at the end of the day. What they want is to improve their business, increase their business. They want to focus on their needs. So the very first thing is to position yourself as a strategic advisor instead of a logistical expert. And I'm just going to share with you two stories, two personal stories that maybe will give you some ideas on how you can do that yourself. So the first one, it was a bank, and I was discussing with the bank about their upcoming meeting. And they were talking about bringing together 10,000 of their employees. And there were 7 people in the room, marketing, events, one person from the board. And all they keep telling me about was alignment. So I was asking them questions. I was asking them questions about their business, about the industry. And every time it was like, we need to align these people. We need to align these people. We need to align those people. And after 30, 35 minutes speaking with them and asking questions, it just hit me. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, can you please take 60 seconds of your time to answer one question for me? And say, sure. So each of them took a piece of paper and a pen, and I asked them, what are the 3 main objectives of your bank next year? So I give them some time to answer. I collect all the paper. Guess what? I had 7 people in the room and 11 answers. My point was, looking at them, I said, listen, you want to align 10,000 people, you're 7 here in this room and you're not even aligned. So, at that moment, you have 2 options. The first one is going to be, who the hell do you think you are? And luckily, they went with the second option, which was, you made us think. And so we start talking more. And this basically in my company, looking at all their business, re-examining, that is any word of English, basically looking over all their events from the sponsorship of the national team up to the local events. What are the questions to ask? Who are the people to be invited? How are we going to keep track of them? How are we going to make sure we're not inviting always the same people? What is the key message we want to deliver, et cetera, et cetera. And so this was an amazing opportunity, which, by the way, was in the middle of the subprime crisis. And the reason that it was efficient is because we were focusing on their needs, their business, and we were trying to help them instead of looking at the logistics of the event. Second example I want to share with you with an insurance company. And they asked me, Eric, can you organize an incentive trip for us to New York? I was a Belgian company at that time. I say, sure, but can I talk with you and ask you what are the challenges you have in the company? And the commercial director looked at me and said, listen, Eric, we've been doing this for 25 years. We know you're going to do a great program. So just do a great incentive program in New York and we'll be fine. At that moment, I could have said, okay, thank you, and leave. And so I look at my client and I said, can you please give me 5 minutes? No more. Look at your watch, 5 minutes of your time. And so I keep asking questions. And at the end of this questioning, I figure out that they had 2 main challenge. The first one, they had people working together, but not really, from 3 different generations. And so they were like next to each other, but not really working with each other. The second challenge that they had was that they had people that were there for 25 years. So anything you would do, they would be like kind of blasé. They start comparing, oh, that year we did this and that. This was better, this was worse, whatever. And then you had people that were there for 2 years and anything will do. So what we did the program in New York. We had the police escort from the airport. We had the private breakfast and fashion show at Saks Fifth Avenue before it opens. We had the helicopter tour. And you and I know that if we are in this industry, it's quite easy to do that. It's a phone call away. Now, what we did based on the two challenges, so people working there for 25 years and other for 2 years on one hand, and on the other hand, the three generations that are not really collaborating with each other. We work with the fabulous company of Andy and Marsha, the song division, and we basically rented a recording studio in the meatpacking district, the Sear studio. And we arrived there. There were 4 different studios, but the main one, when we came in, there was a band playing. And my client could tell all the 100 and some of his colleagues, this guy was playing with Billy Joel. This guy was playing with Bruce Springsteen. This guy was playing with John Bon Jovi. They were all professional musicians. And then we looked at them and we said, okay, we're going to divide you in 4 groups. You'll have 2 hours to find a tune with one of the professional musicians and to write a song about your experience in New York the last 3 days. This was obviously an amazing experience, phenomenal. But what we did, we mixed the group. We put in each group people that were in the company for 25 years and people that were in the company for 2 years. And we put in each group 3 generations so they can really have fun and collaborate with each other. It was a huge success. They recorded their song afterwards. In the evening, we were staying at the W in Times Square. We went out, turn right, and started walking towards the Hard Rock Cafe on Times Square. And as we approached on the marquee, the logo started flashing. We were able to stand on the marquee to take a picture, small groups after small groups. And then we had rented the private room in the Hard Rock Cafe, Times Square. And at the end of the dinner, the band came back and we put everyone on stage and they sang all together. And I can promise you, since then, every time they see the ball falling on the 31st of December or they see a movie about New York, they remember and they said, once in my life, I sang on the stage of the Hard Rock Cafe in Times Square. So those 2 examples, the one with the bank and the one with this insurance company, it's just to tell you that if you sit down with your customer and you prepare, you do your homework, you look at their industry, you ask questions about their industry, you ask questions about their organization, you ask questions about their objective. You don't go in with logistical question, you go in with business question, with strategic question, and then, and only then, can you link those objectives to the objective of the face-to-face meeting. And only then you start asking logistical question. And trust me, just by doing that, it's going to position you as a true strategic partner, a true strategic advisor. You will be called in earlier in the process instead of being at the end and whining to have a seat at the table. You will get that seat at the table because they will see you as a true partner, somebody who understands the business. So that's my first recommendation. A very easy way to increase your sales is to be perceived as what you should be. In other words, a strategic advisor, a strategic partner, rather than a logistical expert. And please don't get me wrong. Logistics is essential. It has to be perfect. We all know that whatever you plan, there's some unexpected is going to happen. But the assumption from the clients that you're going to deliver well. So you need to really up your game and position yourself as a strategic advisor, strategic partner to your client. The second easy way, very easy way to increase your sales is your own personal accountability. A little anecdote with that. I was once speaking at a conference. We had about 100 people in the room, about 50 that were sales from hotel and 50 that were business owners, independent planners in our industry. And at one stage, I asked everyone in the room, how many of you have at least 1 hour, just 1 hour? How many of you have 1 hour blocked in your calendar every day to call, to reach out to prospect, to reach out to your current client? And don't forget, those 100 people in the room, they are focused on sales. I had 5 or 6 hands that went up. I was really shocked, couldn't believe it. And my point is the following. If you block 1 hour, this is what's going to happen. And first of all, let me tell you something. If you look at your calendar, you will see what your objectives are. In other words, if you say that sales is very important for you, but you don't have any time blocked, I don't believe it. So basically, your calendar reflects your priorities. So if you block 1 hour, just 1 hour per day, you can reach out to at least 4 persons, right? So 1 hour per day, 4 persons, that means 20 persons per week. That means about 80 people a month. And if you are on the European war schedule and take 2 months of holidays, that means 10 months, that means 800 people per year. By blocking 1 hour per day and reaching out to 4 people, you can reach out to 800 people a year. And don't tell me that if you reach out to 800 people a year, you're not going to increase your business. It just doesn't happen. It always happens when you reach out to people, when you are out there, when you're putting yourself out there, when you're meeting them, when you are reaching out to your customer, when you're reaching out to prospect. It's mathematics. It's a very simple game. And guess what? For whatever reason, most of us don't do it. So this accountability part, this 1 hour per day, this is something very easy that you can start now and going to impact your sales. So again, quickly for today, the 2 easiest way that you can increase your business. First, to be positioned as a strategic partner, strategic advisor with your prospect and your customer. Second, is to put a plan of accountability for yourself and 1 hour per day to reach out to your prospect and to your client. And basically, success depends on you. There is absolutely no excuse. You can start now as you stop finishing to this podcast and just start increasing your sales. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be very happy to answer them. And don't forget that I will start now every month having a maximum of 8 business owners that I will take for 3 months, a 3-month program to help them structure their business, increase their sales, and organize everything so that they are focusing and you are focusing on what matters for you and what is you are the best at, and be able to delegate the rest. Hope it's helpful. Let me know. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Again, if you have any question, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn or join my Facebook group, www.eventbusinessformula.com/group. And once again, if you want me to help you for 3 months to structure your business better, to increase your sales and making sure that you're focusing on what you do best, let me know. Have a great day.